previous study sessions, happened on July 1st, 2024 at a council study session where City Council directed staff to proceed with putting 2 additional levels on the Brown Avenue parking structure. The next 2 levels on Brown should look like. What have we been doing since February? Investigative site work. There have been people crawling all over that structure, in the elevator shaft, the stairwells, making sure the columns can support it. That structure was built in 2004, and it was built with the intention to add, or the potential to add, 2 additional levels. The engineering was done then to make what we're doing today possible. But we needed to make sure we checked all the boxes, and we could really do what we thought we could. What else are we doing? Public engagement. We're here today. And then after we hear from you and your ideas and what's important, we're gonna start really getting into the meat of our design work. So what else happens? What are the next steps on this project? Over the summer and the winter, we're gonna go through a process till we get to what's called 30% design. It's exactly what it sounds. The design work will be at about the 30% level. That's when we're gonna have something to show you. That's when you're gonna have something to react to. I like this, I don't like this. This was good. Did you forget about this? Or we're gonna tell you, hey, we heard this from the community and we can't pull it off, and this is why.
It's important that we hear from the community and build something that makes sense for historic Old Town Scottsdale, my favorite place in the whole city. But we did want to reiterate, for anyone that doesn't know, the farmers market is important to us. We agree with everyone that thinks it's a vital part of Old Town Scottsdale and brings a lot of energy. They've got a contract through 2026. The city fully intends to honor that contract. And in the meantime, we're working hard with them. They're wonderful partners, working hard with them to identify another location in Old Town so they can stay and grow and prosper and be around for many more decades.
If we were to drive out there around 2nd Street, Brown, and 1st today, this would almost seem like a surface lot. It almost appear like there's nothing else happening, but as we drive into the facility, there's a ramp that serves the bottom level down in the basement. And what that looks like underground is bounded by this dashed line that we have on this graphic. That's actually the basement walls that are down in the basement. We've also highlighted the structural system, which is precast columns that are identified by these squares highlighted in red. So that's existing today. When that design was completed 20 years ago, the envisioning of that expansion was already in place. So if you start to think about the expansion for multiple levels, these columns that we see in the basement would be extended up through the ground level and then would support level 2 and would support level 3.
Canopy walkway that goes along the north side of it, and also provide shade for some of the parking on the first level. And then you can see kind of surrounding context. We have the Mission, which is an important structure to the east, and then these are the structures of the retail components that are on the north side of First. And when we look at the context of this, it's important to us as architects to make sure that we, as we design a new building that's going to fit in this location, that we want to be respectful of that context, and how can we integrate that into our design. We don't want something that's different. It can be different. We're not going to replicate it, but mimic it maybe and make it look similar so it fits in the context. And as Aaron mentioned, with DFDG, we designed this structure 20 years ago, and we have a history of understanding of how to do a design in this space within Old Town Scottsdale. Moving through there needs to be able to continue through this structure, and the original design accommodated for that, and we're going to need to continue that process. So, as Aaron mentioned, one of the key components of the design in these areas is holding to the historical guidelines by the city of Scottsdale. And so this is taken from the design guidelines. And we just wanted to show that it, kind of shows the sort of Western storefront But really what we're trying to do is blend in with the historical aspects of what's there around the site now and other locations within Old Town.
The petitioner, the person who filed the petition, I'm not at liberty to say, or I don't want to put words in the mouth of City Council as to what they are going to do when that happens. But this, we definitely want your opinions on what this should look like, because this team is going to keep moving forward as City Council told us to until we get a different answer from Council.
So we're looking at different wayfinding technology solutions to help guide people to the right spaces depending on what's available within the facility. And that would also then portray itself at the exterior of the facility as well.
All right, thank you, Ben. It is 10 o'clock. I want to say thank you so much for spending the morning with us and talking about parking in Old Town. If you have a question, feel free to come up. If you don't know who to ask, I will direct you to the right place. The comment cards and the presentation will all go up on